Hi, welcome to Dig Into China. I'm Dong Xiong. In the previous program, I mentioned that Xi Jinping believes giving money directly to the public is a waste of resource. Instead, he thinks funds should be invested in developing high-tech industries. He even coined a term for this, new quality productivity. It can be said that during the Cold War, the Soviet Union and the United States spent vast amounts of money competing in space technology. Now, China has taken over from the Soviet Union as America's latest competitor. Foolishly, the leadership is pouring money into AI technology without realizing that their own limitations. Recently, Chinese self-driving taxis have gone viral, with Baidu's Apollo Go expanding rapidly in Wuhan. This has forced the traditional taxi drivers and the ride-hailing drivers to protest. However, this hasn't stopped the Baidu stock price from soaring, nor has it stopped China from unilaterally declaring that its autonomous driving technology has surpassed that of the United States. At first, I was puzzled about what high-tech industry Xi Jinping was heavily investing in, as there had been no significant developments for a long time. Now I see that local governments, including Beijing and Shanghai, are giving the green light to autonomous vehicles and quickly issuing various regulations. I finally understand that everyone is collectively betting on autonomous driving technology, aiming to launch a new driverless taxi industry to boost their political achievements and seek promotions. No wonder local governments have recently been so friendly towards Tesla. So, does everyone have high hopes for China's emerging driverless taxi industry? In this video, I'd like to share some of my views and concerns about China's development in this sector. First, regarding the driverless taxi industry, China is indeed progressing faster than the United States. This speed is due to the Chinese government's ability to rapidly issue various regulations. As long as the government deems the industry worth developing, it can overlook safety concerns, technical issues, and the potential mass unemployment of ride-hailing drivers. Everything is done for the greater good and to boost GDP. This is why we see Chinese local governments moving at a lightning speed to pave the way for the emergence of driverless taxis. In the United States, companies such as General Motors, Google, and Tesla are actively pursuing the driverless taxi industry. However, General Motors and Google faced a lengthy 8-month approval process to secure operating permits in California. Unfortunately, General Motors and its license swiftly revoked by the California government after one of its taxis hit a pedestrian in San Francisco. This is why Tesla is keen on testing its autonomous driving technology in China, given the unique friendliness of the Communist Party towards capital. This is something that Chinese nationalists can be proud of, as the Chinese government indeed has capability to remove all obstacles to development. However, it's also something that should sadden Chinese people, because their safety and employment prospects often take a backseat to economic advancement. In the United States, deaths are a significant issue, but in China, as long as it benefits technological development, number of deaths is often seen as less significant. It's undeniable that technologies like autonomous driving require extensive real-world testing and data collection, where China holds a significant policy advantage. Baidu's Apollo Go has achieved remarkable success in Wuhan. According to Baidu's first quarter financial report, Apollo Go processed 826,000 orders in the first quarter alone, a 25% increase from the previous year, with a total exceeding 6 million orders to date. To put this into perspective, considering that the average ride-hailing driver manages about 20 orders per day, Apollo Go's daily average of approximately 9,000 orders in Wuhan has effectively displaced the livelihoods of around 450 local ride-hailing drivers. Firstly, Apollo Go operates without the labor costs of drivers. Secondly, being a major company, Baidu inevitably subsidizes its operations, resulting in significantly lower taxi fares and an expanding market shares. Recently, this has promoted taxi drivers in Wuhan to stage collective protests, sparking public debates on whether China should pursue the development of driverless taxis. Some argue that this represents technological progress. Widespread adoption of driverless taxis could substantially reduce travel costs, akin to numerous industrial revolutions in human history where machines replaced manual labor. Concurrently, emerging industries would create new job opportunities to absorb workers displaced from obsolete sectors. However, there are also dissenting voices arguing that the driverless taxi industry is unlike past industrial revolutions. They contend that it primarily relies on high-level engineers and may not generate new job opportunities. Consequently, it may not effectively resolve the widespread unemployment issue among ride-hailing drivers. I believe that for any industries to take root in China, we need to analyze it based on the country's specific conditions. Let's discuss how the driverless taxi industry might evolve and whether the government's significant investment could yield effective results, taking into account in China's national and societal factors. Let's envision a scenario in the future where Chinese supermarkets are completely unmanned. People shop independently and use machines to check out. Now consider someone entering the supermarket, not purchasing anything, but opening and taking a sip from every cola bottle before leaving. Would such losses be deemed acceptable under unmanned management? In contrast, in American supermarkets where self-checkout machines are common, there are still employees stationed at entrances to inspect shoppers' baskets. Why can this human oversight be replaced? Simply put, machines alone cannot deter theft effectively. With driverless taxis, the absence of a driver raises concerns about increased maintenance costs if passengers damage the vehicle by scratching seats, kicking or leaving garbage inside. This situation parallels the bike-sharing trend of the past, where many people used locks to secure bikes for exclusive personal use despite bikes being a shared resource. Even with government-operated public bicycle systems, the annual maintenance costs can be remarkably high. In past years, media reports disclosed that the procurement cost for the public bicycles in various Chinese cities was around 600 to 1,000 yuan per bike. Yet the yearly maintenance expenses amounted to approximately 800 yuan per bike. This nearly equates to replacing the bicycles annually. Why does this happen? Besides factors like corruption, it largely stems from low civic awareness and extensive vehicle damage. Currently, driverless taxis are just getting started and are in the phase of heavy investment. We've witnessed similar scenarios unfold many times before, haven't we? In any emerging industry, top companies initially spend aggressively to dominate the market. Then they began raising prices to achieve profitability. Therefore, at this stage, these companies absorb costs like vehicle wear and maintenance internally without discussing them openly. Until they exhaust their funds and realize profitability remains elusive, that's when these challenges become apparent. I also believe that replacing human-driven taxis with driverless ones is fundamentally different from machines replacing workers in factories. This is because while machine production and manual labor are similar, the taxi industry includes a crucial element: service. For example, if you are in a ride-hailing car and suddenly feel unwell or pass out, a human driver would immediately redirect to take you to the hospital. In such emergencies, drivers may even rush through the red lights with understanding from the traffic authorities to save lives. However, a driverless taxi might simply perceive you as sleeping and continue driving slowly. This illustrates the unique service value provided by human taxi drivers, a factor I don't see easily replaceable at this time. Here is another example. Suppose someone tries to take advantage of a drunk young woman they've brought to a taxi. If there is a human driver, they might hesitate, knowing the driver could potentially report the incident or to the authorities or serve as a witness. However, in the case of a driverless taxi without a human on board, such criminal behavior may go unchecked. This illustrates the crucial role of drivers in situations where their presence can deter and prevent wrongdoing, a role that remains irreplaceable for now. Here is another uniquely Chinese scenario. When incidents occur involving ride-hailing cars, companies usually place responsibility on the drivers, whether through fines, dismissals, or public scrutiny. Companies can avoid direct accountability. However, in the absence of drivers, driverless taxi would compel companies to directly confront any accidents, disputes, or complaints that arise. So ultimately, companies will make a calculation. On one side, they will consider how much they've saved on labor costs, and on the other, how much they've increased in maintenance and public relations expenses. If the comparison shows that hiring people is more cost-effective, then the industry may come to an end, similar to the bike-sharing trend in the past. But if this turns out to be a farce, what's the purpose of all this commotion nationwide? Is it to temporarily lay off ride-hailing drivers, let them remain unemployed for a while, and then allow them to return to their old jobs after a break? Whether it was the electric vehicle boom of previous years or the current rapid adoption of driverless technology, China gives off an impression of eagerness. Local governments are copying each other, eager for quick wins. What we see is a trend of blind emulation rather than genuine innovation. Local governments are scrambling for projects to showcase their achievements. When someone discovered the driverless taxi sector, despite its potential to replace ride-hailing services, it aligns with the criteria of new quality productivity. This allows for funding from the central government, local subsidies, and even potential bank loans obtained through questionable means. With money and GDP growth in sight, everyone is keen to follow suit. However, when every region goes all in like this, failure doesn't just mean wasting resources, it also risks missing crucial developmental opportunities, potentially setting them back on an entire era. Furthermore, officials often overlook a fundamental question: what defines the Chinese market? It consists of numerous consumers with significant spending power. If policies continue to endanger the livelihoods of millions, it could shrink the market. Globally, the consensus is clear. AI can replace many jobs, but the profits it generates must be shared with people. Only by distributing wealth can people continue to consume, thereby sustaining the consumer market. Such AI technologies benefit the humanity by reducing workloads while maintaining purchasing power. If China's AI development fails to align with this direction, it risks losing the consumer market entirely. This scenario could turn China's AI technologies into tools of oppressing rather than tools for benefiting the people, similar to precedents set by facial recognition technologies. I want to emphasize again that I am not against new concepts or technologies, nor am I someone who opposes technological progress that is often inevitable. However, understanding China's issues requires a nuanced analysis rooted in its specific context. The unique national and societal characteristics often lead to unique outcomes in how China approach and benefit from technological advancements. Since Xi Jinping consolidated power, there has been only one profitable avenue in China. From this viewpoint, I also endorse protests against industries like driverless taxis. These emerging sectors not only result in widespread unemployment but also fail to enhance social welfare. Instead, they expedite the concentration of wealth among the privileged few. Furthermore, in the process of accumulating data, it is ordinary Chinese citizens who bear the risks and make sacrifices. Hence, without first enhancing social welfare and addressing secondary distribution, the Communist Party is hastily venturing into uncertain territory, which may not bode well. Thank you for watching. Please like, leave a comment, and subscribe to my channel. Just click the subscribe button right here. I'll see you again shortly. Until then, Be well.